used to show the visual of the numbers. So, if you have two variables with the equal number of values in a list, plot will create a visual out of them. The show command produces the visual. Line space creates values based on an interval given to it that are equally spaced. Title is used to give the graphic a title. X label and Y label are used to give the name for the x-axis and the y-axis. A subplot is used to produce multiple visuals next to each other. The figure function helps you customize the size of the plot. Legend puts a legend on the visual to help readers understand what's going on. The text function allows you to place the text anywhere on the visual. Set Y limit and set X limit are also used to help the shape plot based on where you want the values to end on the x-axis or the y-axis. Set face color can be used to customize the background color, while the grid function can turn on a grid pattern. Savefig is used to save a visual made using the Matplotlib. The library has a wide range of customizations that can be done for the line space, line patterns, markers used, colors used, texture, etc. You can make all types of graphs and plots. Examples are histograms, bar charts, pie charts, line charts, tables, scatter plots, 3D graphs, stock market charts, heat maps, box plots, and more.
Hello, so today we're going to show you how to create visuals using Matplotlib in Python. Alright, first we need to install Matplotlib if you have not yet done so by going to your terminal and just typing in pip install Matplotlib. Okay, alright, here you can see that it's already installed. Alright, after that we're just gonna go exit out, and then we want to import Matplotlib, right? We're just gonna type in from Matplotlib pyplot as plt. Hold on, pyplot as a plt. Right? Click on run. Okay. Alright, so after that we want our regular line graph with 2 lines, right? And so in the next line of code, we would want to input all our integers to put in your plot, right? So basically, let's say we want our x variable to equal, we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. Right? That's for x variable. Now for our y variable, we will want let's say 25, 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, and let's say 250. Alright, we're just gonna end there. Okay, now since we want 2 lines in our graph, we still need to have another set of integers, right? So let's say we want another set of integers for the y variable. Okay, so here let's just type in y underscore label, so it'll be different from this one. Okay, so let's just say we want 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, 250, 275, 300, and ending at 325. Alright, next we want to use the plot function to be able to plot these numbers above, including a legend to know which line is which, of course. Okay, now in order to do that, we just have to type in plt, which stands for the abbreviation for Matplotlib pyplot, plt plot. Now inside these parentheses we want to graph x and then y, which is this one right here, and then include the legend basically. So label it, yeah, let's label it line 1 for the first one. Okay, now next one, next line, we want to include X, and then difference is we're gonna type in this one. Okay, for our another line. Okay, again, we want to label it, let's say line 2. Yeah. Okay, now close it. Alright, since we named the labels in each plot, we need to use the legend function to actually display those labels. Right, so right here, plot the second line with the new variable with the legend. Hold on, let me just delete this real quick. Alright, so yeah, type in the legend function to determine which line is which. Alright, all we have to do is type in plt.legend, and since we've already put our legends over here, we don't need to put anything inside the parentheses. Okay. Alright, now next, for this one, this will all depend on your preference, whether you want to limit how much data is seen or not. But personally, I would want to limit my data in each variable. So for this example, we would need to use the x limit and y limit functions. Okay. Alright, so type in plt.xlim, which is x limit function. Okay, now let's say I want to limit the first one to so from 3 to 9. So it basically won't include these two numbers and then this number. Okay, now close it, and then for the y limit, y lim, let's say I want to limit it from 100, so this one 100 to 200, yeah, which is that one. So okay, now after all of that, it's time for me to label my variables and the whole graph basically. Okay, so I would need to use the functions x label, y label, and of course the title functions. Okay, so for the x label, we want to type in plt.xlabel. Now let's say we want to use or name this graph, or this whole x variable miles, since it'll increase. Okay, and then for the second one, which is the y label, let's just name it the time, since the more miles has been run, the more time. Okay, now next you would want to give the whole graph a title. Of course, you don't want to just label all these and then not just have like a label for the whole graph. So use the plt that title function. Okay, now inside this, let's call it miles by time. Okay, alright, now we want to set the figure size. Now a figure size is basically a tuple of the width and height of the figure in inches. So in order to do that, we need to type in plt.rc and then params, which is basically parameters or something, and then let's say figure dot fig size, then brackets, and then equal it to, let's say we want the size to be 6 and then 6 to 2. Right, after that, next line of code, type in the same thing, but now hold on. Let's just change these. All right, but anyways, so now instead of typing in this same thing, we want to type in figure.auto layout to automate it, basically. Okay, now close it and equal it to true. Right, so it'll result to this. Okay, now second to the last for this whole thing, we want to save this visual so we won't have to lose what we actually made in this whole thing. So type in plt dot save fig. Okay, now let's just save it as example plot.png. Okay, now close it. After that, show the graph by typing in plt.show. Right, you don't really have to put anything in these parentheses because you don't need to. So, all right. After that, you should be able to click on run. Alright, my mistake. I forgot to put in the import. So import, alright, there we go. Alright, so now when we click on run, it should show our line graph of 2 lines. So this one indicates our first line, and then this one indicates our second line. Okay, and of course, since we did limit our graph, it shows that it starts over here instead of starting it here, and then vice versa for this one. Okay, now that's how to plot a simple line graph using Matplotlib. Right, so now for our next example, we want to show a bar graph. Okay, now let's just go over here. Right, now again, see, I went to another Python file. So basically, what we want to do is repeat the same process as we did from the previous file. Okay, so all we have to do is import matplotlib by typing in from matplotlib import, there we go, as plt. Okay, now after that, you need to input your integers to actually graph them. Okay, so let's say x equals 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or something, and then y equals 11, let's say 16, 25, 28, 32, and 33. Yeah, those are like, again, those are just random numbers just for our example. Okay, now next, instead of using the plot function like before, we do want to replace it with the bar function, which, since we do want to show a bar graph. Okay, so right here, type in plt.bar. Okay, now inside these parentheses, of course, x and y to show these variables over here. Okay, this is to plot our integers above, and then again, we need to label them according to their variables, right? So plt x label, let's just say years for this one. Okay, to show the number of years. Let's just call this one number of animals. So it'll show like a whole bar graph of the number of animals increasing as the years goes by, basically, because this one is an increasing bar graph, of course, as you can see. Okay, so after that, last but not least, you have to show the function to show the graph. Okay, again, plt that show. Okay, Now, after that, click on Run. Yeah, import PyPlot. I forgot to. Alright, there we go. Now that should be good to go. Okay, click on Run. Alright, here you can see a bar graph showing the number of animals increasing as the years increases as well. Okay, alright, it should make like a whole line, as you can see, increases from here to here. Alright, now that's for the bar graph. Now for our next example, we want to create a pie chart about let's say Christmas with different numbers and colors. we want to be colorful now. So now again, import Matplotlib. I hope I don't mess up again. Matplotlib. Import PyPlot as PLT. Okay. Right, from Matplotlib, import PyPlot as PLT. Okay. All right. Now, next we want to name our chart Christmas underscore balls. All right. Let's just grab this one. Okay. Alright. Now, yeah. Again, since we want to title the chart Christmas underscore balls, we just have to type in the name equal it to the numbers in which you want to show in the graph. So yeah, let's just say these numbers. Again, these are just random numbers just for your reference. Okay, now after that we want to label each integer so we know which is which, even if it's already self-explanatory in this example. Okay. Alright, so all you have to do is type in labels, okay, and then add brackets. Now let's say it should be in order. Okay, so let's say 10. Right, we want to use this one. Okay, and then again 20 for this one, next 30, then 50, and lastly 80. Okay, now close it. Right, as you can see, again, these are in order in which I inputted these integers right here. Okay, now since we're going to want to know which represents which, we can use colors to make it easier to read. Okay. Right. Here. Right, so yeah, again, I would need to pick the colors in order. Now let's just type in colors again to represent the colors. Now again, it'll be in order again. Okay, so let's say we want to represent 10 as a red color. Okay, we want to use red as that, and then green as 20. Next is 30 as, let's say, yellow, and then orange as 50, and lastly blue as 80. Okay, now close that. Now once you run this, it'll be able to show you the corresponding colors in each category basically. Okay, like again, like number 10, it'll be in red, or number 20, it'll be in green. Right, again, so we want to title it It's Christmas. So, right, title it title it. Type in plt dot title and then parentheses. Yeah, again, let's call it it's Christmas. Alright, there we go. Next, after laying out all the information down, we want to finally plot our pie chart, basically. So, for that one, we would need to type in plt.pie. Okay, since we're wanting to plot the pie chart, we would use the pie function. So, hold on. Yeah. Alright, so inside the parentheses, we would have to grab this one, which is the title of the whole thing. So type that in and put a comma in, and then since we did label it, let's just equal it to labels. Alright, and plus the colors, since we did name the colors already here, let's just equal it to the colors by itself as well. Alright, now close it. Now, in order to show the whole thing, again, we need to show or use the show function. Again, we don't need to put anything in these parentheses because we don't need to. So after that, click on run. Alright, here you should be able to see each number categorized in each of each of its corresponding color according to the order in which we put it in. So again, so let's say, right, 80 was blue. Right, 80 was blue. 80 equal to blue. Alright. Alright, that's it for the examples for now. If you ever do have any questions, please feel free to hit me up. Thank you very much.